10 days to faster reading causes you carry your reading abilities to the present century, regardless of whether you've stopped creating them, as the greater part of us, with the finish of primary school, by helping you select what to peruse in a superior manner and giving you noteworthy methods to peruse and hold faster and better. 10 days to faster reading is the after effect of America's main speed reading master, collaborating with the Princeton Language Institute. Over the range of 10 days, it urges you to run different reading tests so you can make sense of which awful reading propensities you need to relinquish, which great ones will support you, and what reading systems you've just aced. Regardless of whether you think you do not have the time, the consideration, or the memory to appropriately peruse, this book gives you a stretch of rope to clutch and haul yourself out of the gap. Here are 3 exercises to assist you with improving as a peruser. Don't simply understand everything, be critical and pose a few inquiries first. See all that you read. Concentrate on significant catchphrases to get a handle on sentences without reading them. Exercise 1. Be prohibitive with what you read by posing these 2 inquiries. Much the same as evident efficiency doesn't mean doing everything, except doing it faster. Being a productive peruser doesn't mean reading everything that grounds before you. The most straightforward approach to peruse more is to peruse less of the stuff you don't have to. Reading is nourishment for the mind, and simply like a decent eating routine expects you to assume liability for what you put in your mouth, you'll likewise need to go to bat for what you put in your cerebrum. The writers recommend you pose yourself 2 critical inquiries before regularly reading anything longer than a tweet. For what reason am I reading this? For what reason do I need the data that is in here? The main inquiry causes you make sense of in case you're simply adjusting another person's solicitation, or your very own longing of having the option to state, I have understood that. For instance, since you neglected to peruse the 2014 business report for as far back as 2 years doesn't make it pertinent now, so you should toss it. The subsequent one dives into whether you'll really utilize what you read. For instance, a logical paper that may assist you with tackling a significant issue one of your customers has to presumably overshadow your kid's schoolwork audit, particularly if your child is as of now an understudy. Exercise 2. Subject all that you're going to peruse to a C, it may be sufficient. This won't work with fiction books, yet for everything true to life, it helps a great deal. By getting a review of what a book or article is about, you'll show signs of improvement feeling of the master plan and make sense of which parts will be important for you to peruse in any case. Much the same as you don't need to peruse everything that winds up in your grasp, you don't need to peruse everything that is in whatever you do choose to peruse. Here's the means by which. Read the title, foreword and content on the back fold, trailed by skimming the list. At that point, leaf through the sections and take a gander at the headings and subheadings. Peruse the principal sentence of passages or sections that appear to be intriguing. In the wake of doing this, you'll as of now have a decent feeling of shouldn't something be said about's to come, which makes you less inclined to need to reread lines and passages as you experience. As per the creators, seeing can surrender you to 40% of the data, and now and then that is all you need. For instance, a book like The One Thing has one overwhelming and explicit message, which you can get in a short time level. That doesn't make the remainder of the book awful or superfluous, however relying upon the time and spot it may be all your requirement for the present until you come back to the book later. Exercise 3. Focus on significant catchphrases to get a handle on sentences without reading them. You could take a gander at the whole exercise above and right away mention to me what its center takeaway is without reading a solitary sentence. Why would that be? Since I've bolded the most significant catchphrases. Just by taking a look at the section above, you'd in a flash perceive that taking a gander at title, foreword, backfold content and list give you an incredible sea of a book. Generally, our eyes hop around while reading, however by following a consistent stream of watchwords, you can peruse all the more easily. These catchphrases are regularly longer than 3 letters and convey the importance of the sentence. This is simpler in writings with featured parts, like this outline, however, with a bit of preparing you can utilize this technique even without specific visual direction.